It was good. It was good. Had a great Christmas. So, yeah. What about you guys?
What did Santa bring for you?
Oh boy, a lot of bones, a lot of toys.
Good boy.
He was a good boy for the most part. Yeah. We'll see if he stays that way.
Are those presents conditional? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh yeah, they can always get taken away.
Oh.
Revoking is always optional.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Baker, how rare is it to get in this position as an NFL player, quarterback, when you're playing for a division title? It's always the goal at the beginning of the year, right? But here it is, your game at home. What's it mean?
One, it means a ton just to be able to possibly do it at home and against a divisional opponent as well. So, should be a great atmosphere. Just the things we've had to do and go through to get to this point, it means quite a bit when you look at having to rattle off this many in a row and having to do it again at home. So it's a great opportunity for us and just the beginning of where we eventually want to get to.
It seems like anytime the Bucs play the Saints, there's a lot of drama, and I know you weren't here for it for the last few years too. In order to get to the postseason, all paths had to go through New Orleans. Just what was your impression of playing this team early on in the season?
Yeah, I think you hinted at it. They're a physical team. It gets chippy. It's just one of those good rivalries that it goes back and forth, and so you see the intensity, you feel it on the field, the physical ball game that it really is, and so yeah, obviously it comes down to this late December game and a lot on the line, so expecting it to be a physical game.
Do you feel like you are playing your best football since you've come into the NFL? I know at the Browns you went to the playoffs, but where you are right now?
I feel good. Yeah, I feel really good about where I'm at, seeing the field. Obviously, playing quarterback, each rep, you can take things away from it. So continuing to learn and improve on it. So, yeah, I think just being in this system for a little bit now, getting comfortable with it, and this is, that's what happens. Once you get comfortable in the system, you can truly grow and see the improvements, and I think that's where we're at right now.
You talk about what you liked about Tampa, why you wanted to be here, the situation, the personnel that you knew from outside. But how much has this exceeded your expectations in terms of how well this team has embraced you as a leader, as a part of this team?
I think a lot of that has to do with success. The leadership aspect of I didn't try and come in and be anybody else besides myself, and that comes with time. So I can always feel that. It's always been something that's been natural for me, but it's definitely happened more so in the last few weeks, and just everybody's come together, and that's what we've had to do as a team to be able to put these 4 games in a row. And so we've had a lot of leaders step up, a lot of guys step up, and that's what you really look for.
How dark and stormy was it? You guys had lost a lot of games, 6 out of 7 or whatever it was, and you couldn't lose again.
Yeah.
So what was it that was able to galvanize you guys together and not panic and take the one game at a time, which is hard to do?
Yeah. From an offensive perspective, just we talked about for those weeks that didn't play very well, but we were so close schematically and doing the little things right, and so we finally have put those things together, and you've seen the improvement, and that was the thing. Weather the storm, trust the system. Don't try and do too much. Don't reinvent the wheel. Stick with it. Just improve on it, and find the success within the system.
Was it the attention to detail that got a little better that got you through that, or were there just certain tweaks, changes that Canales made that helped?
A little bit of everything, honestly. Yeah, guys truly doing your 1/11th every single play, and then just some formational things to kind of change it up, to get guys in different spots, different run schemes. I think we've evolved and gotten really comfortable with where we're at schematically in the run game, and so guys just being comfortable within that and understanding what we're trying to get done, and just having that attention to detail within the system.
The numbers that you have this year are very similar to 2020 when you were healthy, had some organizational stability. You look at this year, organizational stability, you're healthy. Is that what you can expect going forward in your career? Is that kind of other outside obstacles played into that? And going further seasons, is that?
Yeah, obviously free agency allowed me to pick the organizational stability and knowing what it is here. So that's what you look for when you have an opportunity to choose. And so you look for that, and then you do the best you can and make the most of it. So right now, just trying to take it one game at a time, like I've mentioned the past few weeks, and see where it goes.
The Saints defense with a lot of veteran players, you got guys like Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, and you as a quarterback are facing a very experienced defense like that. How can that sometimes make it tougher for you to play?
Just their recognition of schemes, understanding they've seen a lot of reps of football. They've seen pretty much everything you can, and they do it well. Obviously, DeMario, you mentioned, is an unbelievable player, and I think Pete Werner's come along and has been a great side-by-side duo with those linebackers right there. So, yeah, you got to know where they're at all times. You got to understand that they're going to understand these patterns. They're going to know how to pass things off. They're going to fill the runs, and they're going to hit the holes pretty quickly. And just knowing that you got to do those little details right when you're playing a team like this.
How much of an improvement has the offensive line? Everybody talks about, the weapons, but where it started, Jensen's out, moving Tristan Wirfs, Cody Mark, a rookie, playing, small school, and to where the offensive line is now.
I think all year they've done a tremendous job in pass protection. I think the biggest improvement's been the run game and just the more reps, new scheme, whether it's mid-zone or some gap scheme stuff, the guys just understanding what we're trying to get accomplished. More reps at it always helps, but it was new for a lot of guys, like you mentioned. Hainsey starting at center. I know he did last year, but then Cody, new guard, Stinney and Filer have switched to left guard, Tristan making the switch over to left tackle. So there's a lot of moving parts, but they've been more and more comfortable and on the same page in the run game. That's why you've seen the improvement.
Baker Canales, first-time play caller, right? New offensive coordinator. You've worked with a lot of them, unfortunately, but how much has he shown you in terms of, you guys had to get this together? Some guys could come in here and say, here's my system. We're not going to make any tweaks. How open-minded, how much communication has there been, and how has that sort of translated to where you're at now?
Yeah, it's always a healthy balance. He came in and he did want his foundation of a system, and that's what we, when we were going through that lull mid-season, we stuck to it. It's like, okay, we got to get this ironed out. We got to fix the things we need to do and grow from there. But then in the pass game and some other schemes, he's evolved to different ideas, and that's what you look for. You want somebody that says, all right, this is our bread and butter. This is what we have to be good at. We have to work at it. And then when it comes down to game planning, he's always coming up with new ideas.
Are there things that Mike Evans does now, even after you've been with him for several months, where he still surprises you?
I mean, he's a stud. It makes my job easy, so it's fun to play with him. And just his second touchdown, being able to high point a ball like that's a special gift that, not a whole lot of separation in the man coverage, safety's over the top, but he understands he's going to pluck it out of the air and go down. And he just does things so consistently and so well. You just enjoy it as a quarterback.
Do you have a favorite play with him?
No, anytime you throw it to him, it's pretty good.
Synchronize the boxing celebration, the end zone celly there.
I'm trying to get on time with it. He's got to mix up the timing, though. I might catch him off guard.
Baker, obviously Chris might get a lot of the attention, rightfully so, but can you talk about Cade Otton and his progression this year, especially in the blocking game?
Yeah, Cade, obviously young player, year 2 as a tight end. We've asked him to do a lot, and so I think he's a guy that we really appreciate, and just really consistent in the pass game too. Has had a lot of clutch moments, clutch catches, and does a lot of the dirty work, but he's come up big in the pass game for us. So we're extremely happy to have him, and he knows that those guys are going to get attention, so he's going to have some one-on-one opportunities, and he's really taking advantage of them.
Baker, when you're mentioned in Comeback Player of the Year as a candidate, I know team awards and team accomplishments are more important than individual stuff, but what does it mean to you to even be in that conversation?
It's humbling. It's an honor. It's kind of a big picture mindset. If I take a step back and really look at it, of all the things that it had to weather in the last year, but it speaks volumes to this place right here. That to be able to come in and be myself and be the best version of myself, they've allowed me to do that. So it's been the best reason.
What'd you get the offensive line for Christmas?
The gifts were a little late, so I'm not going to announce it yet. But I have told them we have an end of the year boat day whenever we're done playing. Hopefully that's February, but got a boat day with the chef on it and some few other things that are coming in for him.
I know that you were very self-deprecating the other night about your 7-yard run when I likened it to my ball style. Did you see he's a fan of yours?
Oh, I'll take that.
He gave you a salute and said, "Let Baker bake."
Yeah, no, I think that's another thing that being in this community, seeing all the guys around, the former players that were a part of the great teams, it's awesome to see that family aspect of it. The alumni are always around. To get to be able to be around those guys, you see Rondé Barber, you see Warren Sapp at games all the time, and that's special that the guys continue to want to be around the organization and want to be a part of it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.